Okay, so here's the process I went through to port the lower intake manifold for the 2gr. First step was to take the Dremel wheel and carefully, matching the angle, cut the lobe off. And I didn't try to go very close so as not to take too much off. Next, I used this kind of higher end fine file to take it down to where I wanted it to be. After that, I used many of these Dremel wheels to make it smooth from that point. I also used this to go through the whole bore, taking off the sort of seam there, and all that texture, that sort of rough texture that was on the inside. Even though you can see some texture, it's actually incredibly smooth, at least to the touch. Then I used this wire brush, and this one's great because it's worn. It actually got into the rounded parts very easily. And of course, from the backside, just really worked this, and this really kind of polished it too. The final step was this abrasive pad. It's cleaned and made it even smoother, and also used this across the top to make it almost polished. Now, you can probably see my blunder here. My goal was to go flat, and there's still a little bit of a raised portion there. I kind of went conservative on the rest of them because of this, but it seems like the manifold may not have been cast perfectly on this one, because it was thin, and I did get it flat and it went right through. However, I did put a little gasket maker, the Toyota, from the backside before I put the seal back in, and then wiped it off. I don't think it's gonna break free and get drawn in. So that's how it ended up. And it ended up being about a 4 to 5 hour job. Not easy, but I guess we get a horsepower gain per hour invested, so totally worth it. To check your work as you go, and I did this from time to time, you can hold up the gasket, line it up to the holes, because that's how it's going to be centered, and then you can make sure you're not taking too much material off. It might even be a good idea to put this on first, and maybe with a Sharpie sort of stencil it in so you don't take too much material off. You can see on this one, on this top one, you got pretty close up here, but what you don't want is for the material to be shaved off to a lower profile than the gasket or the engine block itself, so that there's a step, and that would definitely kind of inhibit some airflow. That one's pretty close, but yeah, use the gasket as a guide, and don't take too much material off, and goals will be accomplished.